Okay, so we're live. Um, this is part 12 of my playthrough on this game on AKUMU mode. As I always say, the part has nothing to do with the chapter I'm in. This is the start of chapter 10, which you can tell by my voice. Actually, you'll never tell anything by my voice. It sounds usually pretty monotone for the first part, but this is one of these chapters that, to be quite honest, I don't really typically look forward to. When I played through this mode on the first time, actually no, when I played the game the first time, I played on survival. And it was about halfway through this chapter, at least for myself, where there were times when I was where my frustration level kind of rose. This says nothing about the game. I really enjoy this game, but I enjoy it most playing on survival mode, I would say, or the normal difficulty level. Actually, I shouldn't say that. If you can beat this game on this mode or nightmare mode, you'll acquire brass knuckles, which doesn't really sound like much. It's like you just beat the game on a really hard mode, and you expect maybe to get and if you beat it on any mode, you get a rocket launcher and a machine gun, which sounds great, and then you're just left with these brass knuckles, and it's kind of like, wait, what's this? But in all honesty, I find the brass knuckles to be one of the, I don't know, for me that was like, I don't know, it's just really fun to run through the game, because when you acquire those, you can pretty much take down normal enemies in one hit, except for the bigger guys, and their heads explode, and it's just, to me, a lot more fun than having a rocket launcher, but kind of digressing. So as you can see, I'm starting off at the beginning of chapter 10. You can see the difficulties on AKUMU. This is not on New Game Plus. If it would, there would be a clear sign. I am upgrading along the way. I'm not playing this without upgrades. I don't really have the confidence to play this game without any upgrades on this mode as of right now. So to anybody who, I always lose words on this. I don't know how to put it really. To anybody who's doing this without upgrades, I mean, seriously, that's that's pretty awesome. I don't know what other word. There's something I'm just not thinking in my head that would be I can't even think of the word to describe, but a word I'm lacking right now. You see, I'm a little bit, yeah, you could say this, knowing that I have to go through this chapter. Now, really, honestly, actually, this, really, for me, it was chapter 5 and 6 that I most, I'll just put dreaded, at least on the second playthrough, because I knew what I went through on the first. When I played through it the first time, I didn't really have the expectation in mind that 5 and 6 would pretty much be probably the peak of where I was frustrated and died, probably. In terms of certain situations dying over and over again, it was probably the place where that happened the most. And really, and all of this is being archived, when I got to 5, about the point when I met up with Joseph, that's the point in my playthrough where there were situations I got and I started dying over and over. And I just keep broadcasting. I don't stop at any point, excuse me. So I go through chapters 1 through 4, and I played very carefully, and I died a few times, but I mean, you could see this spike. If I were to draw it on a diagram of deaths, I go through chapter 1 and 4, and I'm just picturing like a kind of slow wave, and then all of a sudden it just spikes up, and I just start dying over and over again. Now, this could happen on this chapter as well, on certain parts. the part when you have to leave or escape Laura. I'm just gonna load this because I kind of wind up sitting here and talking. I forget where this chapter begins. I definitely don't have all the answers. I consider myself kind of just a regular gamer. I mean, so although on certain areas, I have certain tips and advice that I'm willing to share, which I do. I'm always willing to take advice from anybody who's chatting on me on the side, because there are situations that I come into. I don't really have any concrete idea on what the best thing to do is, and which is why I've spent time on certain chapters whenever I can. Whenever there's situations where I know that I can get through in a stealthy way, even if it takes a long time, and especially in places where I can collect a lot of trap parts and a lot of green gel for upgrades. Now, I'll spend the time to do that because I know there's certain situations, at least for me, where I find it very... I just don't know how to get by without, blowing a lot of trap parts and green gel. And really, it's quite bad. When I got to the 2 rooms and I always bring this up. I gotta... the 2 rooms are done with. But, I walked into those rooms with about 30 trap parts, and I left with 2, which you kind of wonder, how did I do that? Well, in between the 2 rooms, anytime I got past when I got past the first one, anytime, and I say that because I probably died 20 or 30 times, I just crafted 4 shock bolts, which is 16 parts right there. And for me, shock bolts get me out of that situation. I went in kind of prepared with flash bolts that I was going to be making a lot more use of them, and I had them up to level 4, but I don't know, in the bottom room, just for me, I just found, you stun a few people and then they keep falling from the ceiling and they're not stunned, and for me, I guess it would be better if I could make it work to my advantage, because I wouldn't be blowing so many parts. And this applies to any other situation that I get into where, I can anticipate one when the trauma come out. And really, when I get there, I'm going to do something, at least on the first one, which I find is a good way to get away without blowing a lot of ammo. I mean, but the thing is, I have to come back because I'm really, what I'm doing is for my own advantage, in order to get as much green gel as possible and extra ammo available, I am collecting, well, not all of the keys. I can only miss one. You can only miss 1 key if you want to open up all the lockers. And that last locker gives you 100,000 green gel, so. And the one key I am going to miss is on this chapter, because I'm not, especially on this mode, going to blow on my ammo and bolts, killing Laura to get a key. So I sort of just went blank there. I kind of don't want to miss anything. This chapter's long. I usually, for the first part of it, I try to take out all the enemies in a stealthy way and conserve ammo for the first 2 parts, but once it sort of hits the trauma, and then you go into that, and then you have to escape Laura, and then there's a garage boss fight, that's when it starts getting a little bit crazy. Not that it isn't, for me, kind of crazy from the beginning,
Reuben.
but...
Does he mean Ruvik?
Numbers are irrelevant. They received as they themselves gave, and they served a higher purpose.
So maybe I'll just sit here crouched for 2 hours.
This was not
I kind of...
research.
In my head, I never have a plan, which is why I just do this in parts.
Those traps.
These vermin.
I mean, I kind of think this would be split up into 2 parts, and I've said that before, but then I just sit here for hours going through the entire thing.
But you are correct. This was not mere research. I'm close to perfection.
This is abhorrent.
Come on, I want to run. Alright, well, actually I shouldn't be doing that. That's not a good idea. This chapter has a lot of traps in it. And me running blindly into a trap would just be kind of mimicking Joseph's behavior on certain situations when I've been with him, which I never fully understand. You know, Joseph being a detective, on the second part of Chapter 6, when you have to deal with the four cabanas and that you have to snipe down, there is a tripwire. At least on this mode, I don't remember it being there on survival mode. And again, there's extra traps around, which is fine, but it's not fine when you're, I guess, protecting a character and he just decides to blindly run through the tripwire and kill himself. And that's happened to me. That didn't happen to me on this playthrough. I went over to the trap to disarm it, to prevent that situation from occurring, knowing that it's happened before, and actually I hit the wire, but luckily I was crouched. I stay crouched a lot during certain situations. It's kind of good to, I guess, do that. For me, that's another thing I never mentioned. In the options, I think by default, they have it so in order to crouch, you hold the R1 button. And again, this is, well, PS4, but I always switch it to toggle so I can just press it once because I spend a lot of time crouching. I can't imagine, like, what the state of my pointer finger were to be like at this point. I mean, I'd probably be in a lot of pain. Which would be appropriate, I guess. I mean, for the setting of this game and whatnot, it's, you know, the hard, but really. Why am I doing this? I do this a lot. You know, I just stand here and jump up and run around. Okay, what I'm doing, okay. What I'm doing is sitting here thinking about what I'm going to do. I don't think there's another save room after this for a while. I know there's one before the garage boss, and the thing is, the reason I'm thinking about this right now is because I won't be able to upgrade in between then. You know what, I'm don't know. I'm gonna play the beginning safe like I usually do, which usually means being very slow. Being overly cautious and taking my time until I just don't have any time. And in situations where Laura's chasing, I just don't have time. I can't do anything, and so when I do have time, I take it, because on this mode, I don't know, for me, I've emphasized before, you know, it's not like I have thousands of trophies, but I do have the platinum for this, and for me, if a trophy didn't exist for beating the game on this difficulty, it would not have been as hard to platinum this if it weren't for this trophy. I guess that's just my perspective, and for me, this was like the hardest trophy I've ever gotten, I think, ever. And I'm aware that there are other games that have more difficult trophies, and I'm thinking back, there are some games I've played where there were trophies. When I looked at the criteria, I was kind of like, wait a minute. You know, I just didn't even have the confidence to really even try. I think beating it on this mode gives me more confidence if I went back to them, but those games are on the PS3, and I don't have a PS3 hooked up, and that, you know what, in order to hook it up, it would be kind of a pain, so and then really I'd have to play the game over again to even get used to it, to kind of know what I'm doing in order to even probably get some of them, so probably just gonna stick with the PS4 and kind of do this, you know, I've played through this a few times, so I just decided to spontaneously broadcast. So I'll probably do this with other games. I don't really know what I'll play next. Maybe I should just kind of play a game and start live broadcasting without, on my first playthrough. So it's just really blind for me, and I don't know what to expect. That could be really exciting because I don't. That could be really exciting. I say that. I'm so self-aware. You know, my voice isn't, which is fine because this is really the way. You know, it's not like I have a script in front of me or I'm acting, and this is a way for me to stay calm, especially when playing on this mode too. And I'm always aware that I'm broadcasting, so this is probably also why you'll see, like, when I'm loading the game, how many hours have went by. Because sometimes I'm just talking, and right now I'm just talking to myself, and, you know, all of this time's adding on. But this isn't really about time. Okay, is this a point where I can't even... I don't know, I'm just gonna go talk to this. This isn't... I don't want to hear him banging on the door anymore. It's kind of...
Do you have any idea why this world is the way it is?
No, that's a good question. I actually don't. I mean, not even speaking about the context of this game. I don't know why the world the way it is, and I wish somebody would give me answers. Tatiana, have you any wise words for me as I start off on this chapter? Because this really, even with having played through it once, I mean, and anybody playing on this mode has played through the game. I can't make the assumption you've played the game through once. I mean, in order to get on this mode, you have to beat it on survival, but obviously I've thought about the possibility that there's people who have just started playing on this mode on their first playthrough because maybe they have a friend who has the game and they beat the game on survival, and then their friend says, hey, here, come and play this game. It's not that bad, it's easy. Here, just, you know, and they start it up on AKUMU mode and give it to them, and that's really not, wouldn't be a funny prank. Here, play this. Why not? I'll just grab the newspaper. I never grab these during this. I'm not interested in the collectibles, only the keys, but, I don't know. What's the difference at this point? I've said this, once or twice. Sorry, see, sometimes if I'm clearing my throat, I have bad allergies, and I've started to get allergy shots recently, like I did when I was younger, so I don't know, I could be doing that for like 1 or 2 years, so I guess if I continually broadcast, this is what I'm going to sound like. Explosive bolts are good. I'd rather get green gel. Well, I could reload it and it'll probably, you know, at some point give me green gel, maybe not. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. What do I need? I usually don't like taking from the lockers. I don't see a second. I think I'm good on the freeze bolts. Now, I have a decent amount of parts to craft items, and I kind of wish I had an idea in my head, or a concrete idea, that I would be able to pick up some shock bolts along the way. I'm hoping that I open another locker and there's more shock, but I don't know. Now here's the thing with these bolts. Now I have my stock at level 3, which is max, and you can carry seemingly 4. You can really carry 5. That's the key. If you go to pick up a bolt, and for instance, okay, like this one I have 4. If you don't have it set on, like if there were a freeze bolt in front of me right now, and I had it set on here, I wouldn't be able to pick it up, because it would say my stock is full. However, if you have it armed and ready like this, then you'll be able to pick it up and carry 5. And one bolt really can make a difference in certain situations, and actually what I'm doing here is quite the opposite. I'm not going to arm the shock bolt. because I don't want to take all 4 of them. I kind of wish they give you a choice at this moment when you're at the locker where, you know, I go to the locker and maybe I hit the button and something comes on the screen and I can take as many as I want, because I really don't want to fill my inventory with them with the prospect there could be, you know, 1 or 2 lying around. So what I can do is put the freeze bolt on. It'll only take 2 of them. If I had it on, it would have taken 3. So, alright, well, that's my 2 cents on that. Keeping this in mind, this would be a lot easier if I had my shock bolts at level 5. Again, there's people who play this without upgrades, and again, that's pretty amazing, because I'm thinking level 5, just, in the situation with the trauma, they're extremely strong, and really could waste a lot of ammo and whatnot taking them down. It's usually better, especially on this chapter, to try to draw them to corners and just freeze them or shock them there. I don't believe the stun bolt will work on them. In fact, from what I read, they're blind. So they detect you by sound. It is actually possible to sneak up behind the trauma and do what one would call a sneak kill, but which I'm sure does a lot of damage and I believe opens a wound on the back of them, but they're not probably going to die from that, and at that point you've made them aware, and despite their sluggish movement when they're not aware of you, they can be quite fast and they can sling a blade at you. Considering I don't have enough anyway to put this at level 5, which as you could see at level 5 would be 10 seconds, and that's a lot of time. If I only go to level 4, it still stays at 6 seconds. It's just the distance, which definitely, you know, makes a difference, but it would be 15,000 to go to level 5, and, you know, so in total 25,000. I can't do this. That would be nice to have a higher damage on for the boss. Oh man. Okay, well, I'm going to make the stock higher for this. Do I have enough to do this? No. I can only do one of these now. I mean, my fire rate's pretty good on this. And this is anticipation of the garage boss, which I don't know why I'm thinking about that. By that time I'll have enough green gel to do what I need to do with this, so I shouldn't really be thinking about the fire rate. I'm going to... I'm just gonna do this, you know. And again, this is an example of, you know. All right, I started the chapter not too long ago, so again, if there's any upgrades that you're never sure of, that's why I like having, one of the reasons I like having 2 save files. Now, I didn't save it here before I did that, which is usually what I would do, but the thing is, I just started the chapter anyway, so... So, I have 2 right now for this chapter, but, I have a lot of save files on here, to tell you the truth, and some of these are because, when I'm done with these videos, I export them to YouTube because they're only available on the archives for 2 weeks. And this isn't a matter of, me like, hey, I want to be famous. I gotta put this on YouTube. This is the best video ever. Everybody watch it. But, I don't know of any other way to keep these videos, and I don't think you can download them to your computer. And in any case, since I do have the YouTube, I kind of want them on there anyway. In case anyone is interested or gains anything by it, that's great. But I also gain a lot from people chatting, so... I don't know. I'm going to, I'm probably gonna, alright, Now I'm gonna do a new slot too. Now this is strange. Look at how many save files I have on here, but, again, the problem is that if there's any problem with me exporting the videos, or for some reason I go back and look at it and something's wrong, I can, redo places, if the audio went off at some point or something happened, I'd really not rather redo certain sections. But, so I make sure to check the videos afterward. And I know this has nothing to do with the game, but, oh well, I think at this point anybody would get the point if anybody were in here, but, nobody is. Okay, so, am I ready to go? Not really. My explosive bolt's at level 4. I can think of a future circumstance where that's going to help me. I can think of one. No. I can think of more than one. I mean, Actually, I shouldn't be thinking like... I should be thinking I should be in the moment doing this, because... Otherwise I'm just going to run into a trap and, Which... Really, I don't know. It's not just playing on this mode. I'm just accustomed to dying a lot. It's just, this isn't... Doing this broadcast isn't about, for me, perfection in any way. This is just me playing from the beginning, from chapter 1. And, what happens, happens. And I suppose if I was doing it another way, could always use the PS4, which somebody, reminded me or pointed out. Want to make videos using the PS4 and record, and I don't know anything about video editing, and again, this is more of a live broadcasting thing, so why am I getting confused? Now, the first key is somewhere. It's pretty easy to find. It's the second key that I'm worried about. Because really, there's a situation when I get to it with the trauma that you can get out of it pretty quickly without using any ammo. And this is going to be more of an experiment, what I'm going to do. Because on my first playthrough, I killed the first trauma and got the key. And I'd really rather not kill the trauma. I'm hoping I can maybe run somewhere and maybe he'll just go back and do a routine and I can sneak in. I don't know what's gonna happen at this point. Oh my god. Yeah, see, I can't be running around anymore. Obviously that was, I don't know what that's connected to. It could be anything. I could hit it and just, Ruvik flies out on a broomstick and just chops my head off. That would be actually quite amusing. I wish they kind of had some Easter eggs like that in the game, but Well, that would be a little absurd. Wouldn't be fitting. Okay, so I did that. So let me sit here for 10 minutes and think about what to do next. I believe the key is in this room behind some crates. I just want to be careful. I mean, with the extra traps and bombs, and again, I don't have a clear idea in my mind, in certain situations, what to expect. I'm going to take the pains to disarm some of the bombs, especially in the beginning. Probably 2 of them. You see, if I get 2 of them, that's 4 trap parts, it's 1 shock bolt. I'm thinking in terms of shock bolts, in terms of getting away from the trauma, so... Okay, I don't think there's... It doesn't matter what I think. I'll say, I don't think there's any traps in here. I don't think there's anything. Let me just stand up, and then all of a sudden I'm dead. I mean, it happens. Okay. Yeah, you gotta smash these. Well, I recommend smashing every crate and every pot. Take whatever you can get, especially in this mode. In any mode, really, but... As you can see, I mean, I smashed it. There's a statue behind here, so this is the first key in this chapter. And really, there's 4 keys in this chapter, but one of them... This is the chapter with the one that I'm not going to get. This isn't really about getting the Master of Unlocking trophy, which for anyone who is interested, you get that trophy once you open up all the lockers. It doesn't have to do with the fact that you acquired all of the keys. And the good thing about that is, and oddly, that you can miss 1 key and still get it because there's 2 keys in the lockers, which I always still find kind of odd, considering maybe this level of difficulty or whatnot, that it isn't set so like you have to actually get every single key in order to open every locker in order to get the trophy. So they sort of give you some leeway there, which I don't really know what I would do if I was playing this right now, in terms of the keys, because the last locker isn't, I guess, really, that's what it is, missing 1 key. I mean, getting that 100,000 green gel, and I believe it would be chapter 14 you get the last key, and so you'll have, you know, a decent amount of green gel at that point, right at your disposal to, you know, spend on upgrades, right, even before the chapter 15 fight, so... I don't know what I would do otherwise, because defeating Laura, I don't know of any way to defeat her without depleting a lot of ammo, even with significant upgrades. The only thing I know is for the Bathed in Flames trophy, which I got, that, well, first of all, it's easier to get. I didn't actually do this, but it's easier to get on New Game Plus, because you can probably just, you know, kill her with the rocket launcher in a lot of hits. But, no, I did it on my survival playthrough, and I didn't save the game afterward. What I did was I went back to my autosave and ran past the situation. I didn't get that key. It was just about getting the trophy. And I just found that it only seemed to work when I got to the last section with her that I was able to do it. And which, when I get there, I can show you. I was on top of a floor above where I had to jump down, and I depleted all my ammo taking her down, and all she did was respawn on the bottom floor, and I had no ammo at that point, and then I had to do it again. And when I did it on the bottom floor, and I guess, you know, making sure all the bodies are gone is a good idea so she doesn't respawn, but at that point in the last part of the section where you drop down is, I guess, where you want to take her down. I mean, that's, at least from my experience, I mean, I blew about the same amount of ammo that I did on the top floor, and I wound up killing her, but when I did it on the, before dropping down, she just respawned again, so. Some of these things, you know, I think to myself, if I was making like a video that I was doing, what I'm talking about right now is something I would obviously be talking about maybe, you know, right in this situation with Laura. But as I'm doing a live broadcast, I mean, maybe I'm just taking advantage of the time, because during the first half of this chapter you have time, or more time, to kind of sit back and reflect and You know, if I was plugged into the situation with Lauren running away from her, I don't know how I can sit here and just, well, I can pause the game. Oh, I didn't even thinking about that, really. Well, that doesn't sound good. Kind of makes me wonder, and I did this in another situation when I was with Joseph. There was a body bag, and there was a body moving in it, and somebody squirming, and I'm thinking, well, aren't we cops? We're detectives? Why are we standing here? I mean, wouldn't I want to help the guy out of the body bag? I don't know. It's just, I'm hearing from both sides people being tortured. And I don't know. It just would sort of seem instinctive. I don't know, me being a detective, that I want to get that door open and help somebody. It's just, I don't know. So I'm coming up to this section now where there's going to be, this is where the circular blades come out. And I'm going to do something for, you see, I'm doing this tactically because I realize there's a checkpoint behind me. One of the first things I'm going to do is disarm one of the motion sensor bombs because it could blow up my face. And there's another bomb I'll probably disarm, but only after I hit the checkpoint. Now there's more than 2 bombs, I believe, but I just don't, again, at this point have the confidence level, which is why I use save rooms when they're available in order to go back to after I disarm a bomb when I can. Now, doing that probably doesn't help me get better at this, but I required a lot of trap parts, and the only thing to look at, well, there's a couple tripwires here, and obviously there's a guy over there. Obviously a guy. Yeah, this is just like any guy, you know, you're walking out on the street, any normal pedestrian. It's kind of hard because, you turn on your lantern and you're going to attract attention to yourself, so it's, I guess, kind of important to just know where these wires are. Now, I think hitting these wires isn't going to, kill me. It's just going to set the alarm off and make the circular blades come on quicker, and maybe, actually, that might not be a bad idea, because he might be beheaded, but again, I'm looking at him and he's a masked haunted, and some of them, I know one of them at least, is kind of smart, and they just kind of crouch walk through here when the blades come off. On. So that bomb over there on the wall I'm going to disarm, which, oh my god, I forgot. See, I got lucky there. Now, you could see I stood up there, and you might wonder why, especially with their increased level of awareness, he didn't see me. That sort of just doesn't seem to count. Anytime you do something like disarm a trap, he just stands up automatically, and this applies too when he's going through doors. As long as you're crouched before you enter the door, or jump over a windowsill, even though he'll stand up to open the door, or he'll stand up after he jumps over the windowsill, even if you're following somebody stealthily, it's not going to alert them, as long as you, at least from my experience, as long as you're crouched before you do it, because right after you open the door, and right after he'll automatically go back into a crouch. Now, there's another tripwire, which I can't even see. I just kind of know it's here. There. Now, at this stage, I could die if I go for that motion sensor bomb, and I'm totally aware of that, and I'm fine with it. 2 trap parts. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm on chapter 10. This is kind of one of my more frustrating chapters, playing on this mode. And here's where I could die, because I guess you kind of gather how I play. I mean, I'm taking these trap parts. I'm not going to disarm all of them. There's just 2. I have a way of doing this here, because the checkpoint wasn't far behind me. I take this one, I leave one, hit the checkpoint, and then come back for it, so... Really? Well, maybe you'll get a chance to see me get through it, and maybe it'll help. I'm... Of course, I'm not near there yet, but, for me, the one... What I'm thinking, there's actually... Well, I'm gonna say something about the first one. The first one can get by pretty quickly. You can get by, without doing anything to. The problem I'm gonna have is that I'm collecting all the keys, and no, I'm definitely, yeah, I'm not a pro. The way that I get out of the situation that you're speaking of, though, is really, I mean, you can use shock bolts, or you can. Usually, I draw them. Well, there is an extra guy in the room as well. You sneak kill the one guy and disarm the bear trap while the trauma isn't looking. I would take out the other guy too with a sniper rifle. At that point, though... Oh. Well, I guess that worked out well. Maybe I should just talk while I disarm bombs. Maybe it just makes me calmer. I don't know. If you use the sniper rifle to take out the other guy, though, that's automatically going to alert the trauma, which is fine because you're going to want to draw attention to yourself. I just think that if you draw the guy along with them, he's going to be faster, and it's going to get all confusing because the trauma usually will just come at you both together at the same time. And if you shock them and you lure them back to where you came from and shock them there, and then while you were going towards the lever, put another bolt on the ground, you should have enough time to turn the lever. Another way to do it is, I don't know, my shock bolts are at level 3, which in terms of seconds, it gives me an extra 2 seconds, I think. I don't know, but which certainly helps. But a freeze bolt can work too. If you can, as long as you can, with one freeze bolt, you can get them together and freeze them together. I mean, it's possible. I've seen it on a video that you can freeze both of them and run for it and actually open the door and get through, and you can get through all of it. I guess it's just a matter of doing it quickly. And again, obviously, for anybody watching, I'm really not the quickest person at this. And this really isn't a speed run. I've done speed run before with brass knuckles, which is really fun. That's one of the benefits about beating it either on this mode or nightmare mode. I mean, I guess one wouldn't think it, you know, brass knuckles. Wait, I just beat this game on a hard mode and I get brass knuckles. You know, I got a rocket launcher and a machine gun for beating on any mode. Really, the brass knuckles are a hell of a lot more fun than the rocket launcher, in my opinion. When you know what you can do with them, you can just punch an enemy once and their heads explode. I mean, from my understanding, there's only 2 of them, and playing on a lower difficulty, there's also 2 of them. It just seems to be there's that extra guy in the room hanging around by the bomb, and I don't know if it's just on this mode that the 2 trauma are visible. Because I remember playing on a lower difficulty, you only see one of them, and it isn't until you reach the lever the second one sort of appears. I could be wrong, though. I mean, if there's 3 of them, then I'm still hoping the plan would work, because they would all get shocked, all 3 of them. Usually when they're running after you back to the corner, they sort of always stick together, and that's why I'm concerned. Why it might be good to take out the other guy, because I don't think, I mean, he'll be faster, he might not stick with them, and it'll make it a little more difficult. And the problem is, even after you get the gate open, they're still going to run after you. I mean, for safety purposes, you can always throw another shock bolt in the ground before pulling the lever, but if you want to do it really quickly, I mean, if you have time, you can run directly for the lever, don't pay attention to anything else after the door, and just hit the lever and immediately crouch and go underneath the spikes, and don't even, like, stop for anything. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, from what I recall playing on, it's hard because some things change on this mode for me to think. I just thought on when I played it, I did a speed run on casual. I remember only seeing one, and I didn't see the other one until I got to the lever. It's like he suddenly appeared. But if you're gonna take out the other guy, like I was saying, it's gonna probably alert. It's gonna alert them, though, both of them. And if you go back to the section you came in, they should both, by that time, kind of be together for some reason. And again, if they're not, and it doesn't work out, obviously, you know, the checkpoint's not far back, so it's not that bad. But this is the point when the sniper comes out. This is a...
Shit. Better find cover.
Oh god. I only stood up for a second, which wasn't smart because, oh no, there is another one. I am hoping that she gets sliced by this blade and does not run at me right now. Okay. Now, that was pretty risky. And I always use risk relatively because I'll just go back to the checkpoint, but seriously, she could have really just started running at me, and I would have been gone. Because I believe in another mode I played, there was only one enemy to deal with, not two. So that was my kind of error, but this is the method I use. For the first half of this chapter, I don't try to blow any ammo on these enemies, like, especially in this section, because you can draw them out over here and just have them, you know, they'll just stand there and have their heads cut off by the blades. With the exception of one, I don't know if in this mode it could be two. There's one of the mask haunted is kind of smart and he'll duck, and that happens I think in any mode. He'll just walk crouch walked. Which is why I should test something right now, and I'm not going to do it while I'm out here in the blades. Oh, I can't do it here either. There's a sniper rifle guy. Alright, the axe will be good to have. The one thing that gets me with the sniper, or sniping in general, is that I just don't fully grasp there are other enemies down here. Now, I'm trying this tactfully to... I know where the checkpoint is. Now, one can basically go over to the section over there and take out those enemies first, if they want to. Or you can go upstairs and deal with what's up there, and then hit the checkpoint and then deal with them afterward. That just is what I'm doing, especially on this mode. Because really, between that point and the next, if you had no enemies to deal with or anything, I mean, there's not, you know, a big problem. Well, there should be a guy. He's gonna sneak around when I get out there. Which I'll probably go upstairs first, but he'll come out of the door basically crouch walked. And the thing with that is that what I usually do is I hit him with a stun bolt and he'll kind of stand. Sometimes he'll get hit by the blade, sometimes he won't. So maybe using a harpoon bolt is better. The problem I have with, like, sniping, though, and I know I was digressing, is that I can never... Basically, because it automatically zooms, I just have a problem, like, finding the guy first with the sniper rifle. So, you know, I stand up here, and now I have to duck back again because I think I got the area. But it's just hard for me to... There he is. And I missed. Oh, man. I really don't want to be wasting sniper ammo. I couldn't even tell if that was the right spot. Alright, there we go. So I want to just test this. I want to crouch and just... This is the thing about Sebastian. This is where maybe it becomes a little more... Where maybe one would notice that it becomes a little annoying. Is that every single weapon you use, with the exception of mines, you always stand up. Now see the problem, now I just figured this out, and this is good to know. Because I was saying a guy will sneak up, like, the thing is, I usually hit him with a stun, but I never knew before, because I guess in the moment I never tried. Usually when you're crouching to do something, like if I jump over this window, which I'm not going to do because there's blades there, but or I go through a door. Even though you stand up to do all of those things, once you get through it, he'll automatically crouch back down. So if you're sneaking behind anybody, and you have to go through a door, or jump over a windowsill, it'll look like really bad because you're just standing there, or you'll open the door and stand there for 2 seconds, but... Well, the toggle, I mentioned this in the beginning of the video, I automatically switched the options to toggle. If it was a default, which I think it was, for holding the button, my finger would be really in pain right now because I do a lot of crouch walking, and I can't imagine having my pointer finger just pressing down on a button for so long. So yeah, I just used the toggle. The problem is if I draw this weapon, I stand up automatically. The thing is, I just found out, yeah, I mean, I was just crouched. He won't automatically crouch down after I draw the weapon, so when you're out and there's blades above you, ahead of you like that, and you're gonna draw a weapon, you're gonna stand up. And I guess you just have to remember to crouch back down manually. I don't know why he just doesn't do it automatically like he does when you go through a door. I think one of the big blunders I made, I was doing a speed run and I realized there was a syringe to pick up out here somewhere, which is totally useless in this mode, but you know, I didn't have my health fully up, so I decided to use a syringe while I was out there in the circular blades, thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, like, you know, I don't know why he has to stand up to use a syringe. But yeah, that's what happened. I stood up where the circular blades were just to stick myself with a syringe and give myself health, and got decapitated in the process. There is only one weapon I know of, and for this reason alone I find it useful in situations that I know of that you can use while you're still crouched, and it's the mine. Like, you could throw mines like you throw bottles. You can be crouched down. That's the only thing I know of, though. Otherwise, you pull out your handgun, you would expect that maybe he could use a handgun while he's crouched, but no, he has to stand up for every weapon you draw. I did upgrade my stock for this, because this rifle's going to become pretty important, especially with the garage boss. The sniper rifle works very well when he becomes purple, and there's a specific... Yeah, I'm sorry, grenades. I meant grenades. Actually, I'm glad you're chatting with me, because that would have sounded... Yeah, the grenades are the only weapons that I know of that you can actually use while you're crouched, like I am right now. I'm not going to throw this, but I don't have to stand up to use it. And standing up, I mean, I could be alerting other enemies, I guess. I don't know, it just sort of... I don't know. It would be nice to know, it's like, if he could just use his handgun while he's crouched. But then again, it is what it is. I mean, I should probably take this. So, the way I'm doing this is... there's two enemies up here near another motion sensor bomb, which I'm going to try to take out and leave the bomb there. Hit the checkpoint and then go disarm the bomb, so if I die, I don't have to go all the way back, you know, to the start of this. This is kind of hard though, because they're both together, and I might have to run away and try to get down the stairs. Now I want to hit one of them with the axe probably, but there's 3 of them. Yeah, I should always expect more on this mode. Oh, you mean 3 counting the sniper, or do you mean 3 walking around this room? I know that the sniper's out. Did someone notice me already? I can't tell because they move quicker sometimes, and I feel like I've been noticed. And if I think that, I might start running, and if I start running, then I definitely will be noticed, so... See, I'm glad I didn't take from the locker. I did it in the way I did. One thing I was saying before, the thing that annoys me about the lockers when there's ammo in there, I kind of wish you could take as much as you wanted to, rather than, for instance, if I can fit 5 bullets in my stock, I wish I could just, you know, he'll just grab all 5. Like, why? I wish I could just take 2 bullets if I wanted to, because it's anticipation that I can pick up things later on, because that's why I don't like to take from the lockers unless I need to. But with the bolts, you could sort of, like, control the situation a little bit. As long as you don't have a particular bolt armed. Like, if there's there's a shock bolt laying over there. Now, if I go up to it right now, it's going to say I'm full and I can't pick it up. But all you have to do is switch to the shock bolt, and one of them will become armed. In your clip, however you would put for other weapons, and you'll be able to pick it up. Like, I can carry 5 at max. We're really 4 in stock and 1 if it's in the crossbow. But if it's not in the crossbow, you won't be able to pick it up because it's just going to say it's full. And I utilized that trick backwards in the lockers, so I could only take 2 instead of 3. I made sure I wasn't armed with it, so he wouldn't take all, like, you know, more than I wanted him to. And it was kind of anticipation that I'd see something lying around like this. Because... oh, they're not kind of in order here. I kind of want to... oh, he's got a gun. I don't know. It seems more of a priority. Yeah, I mean, their aim in this is, like, dead on. I mean, wherever you are. Turn around, please, right now. Oh my god, bad move. Please, let's go. Let's get out of here. God, he noticed me pretty quickly. The other guy's probably chasing me too, and that guy's got a gun. Now, maybe if I just crawl out here and not hit traps, which I almost did, he'll come out and get decapitated like he just did. So that was good. So the circular baits you can make kind of your friends in a way. Oh no, this guy's gonna shoot me. And we both... oh my god. Now, you see, the problem is I didn't hit the checkpoint. And that's what I mean. Now I have to go back to even before when they turned on. And... well, I'm gonna do just what I did before, and if the bomb blows up in my face, then it does. This is for me just a matter of patience, because I don't want to change my plans because I'm getting, you know, if I get frustrated, because in that way I just don't feel like I'd be preparing myself for future situations. So I guess it's I was about to say, I guess it's just important to know where the traps are as I step into one, because normally there wouldn't be a bear trap there. Hey, you came just in time. I just killed myself in a bear trap, which I forgot, you know, was there. And I was about to make a point of, like, being aware of where the traps are. And I just step in one. That's great. Alright, you have a good night. So yeah, I mean, I'm going about the first half of this chapter in a more stealthy way, because like it starts to get crazy when, I guess at the point when the traumas come out, and then Laura comes out, and then you have the garage boss. It's kind of like, you always forget about the extra. The good thing about having the extra bear traps though is that that's just extra trap parts, but it always kind of again gets me here. Like I don't understand why he has to stand up. You know, I'll go disarm this and he's fine, but now he'll stand up for a second. Now, if the circular blades were on, that wouldn't be good. Are you asking me? My PSN ID is exactly the same as my Twitch thing. It's the same name that can be searched on my YouTube. Actually, on YouTube, it's just connected to my real name, and I have the screen name. I mean, I don't care. It's all connected, but yeah, I use this name. So this name is on Twitch and on... Yeah, I use my PSN ID when I connect to everything, so it's not confusing, and it's not all over the place. Alright, have a good night. I don't know what to say. I could die, like, right after this, because I'm just doing this the way that I got pretty, like, far before, and I messed up. And... So... Okay, I'm surprised I got that one, because for me, I kind of say this, I don't know what it is, it's just me, a personal thing. When the blue space, they give you more time and it's kind of farther up to the left, sometimes I don't know, when it's earlier on I do better for some reason. Okay, well, I have to remember. You know, because sometimes I start these chapters off and I'm talking and I'm like, well, I forget, you know, about the extra enemies. You know, there's not going to be one, there's going to be two, and... Oh, damn. I feel like I got really lucky last time here. I kind of wish the alarm just didn't go off automatically, like I'm not hitting anything. I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that the sniper guy recognizes me. Actually, what I should do is maybe... I don't know if I could do this before the alarm. I don't think I can grab that bottle and before the alarm will go off. Oh no. I'm gonna have to just... Oh, jeez. Can I grab... Oh, I can't grab the bottle.
Better find cover.
Oh, come on. I cannot believe he just missed me. Alright, that's amazing. Please don't run after me. Just walk in here like you did before and get... Where are you going? Where are you going? Come back. This is one of these times where I want the enemy to come back after me, for that reason. Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah. I usually wind up going on YouTube, especially because I'm trying to export all of these. I mean, I do them... This is also why I have a lot of save files, because some of them are of games where they haven't been exported yet, I guess, or they're not processed successfully, so I really don't want to do over certain chapters, but and I have a lot... I'm giving myself a lot of time. It's just... Part 10 is like 4 hours long, and I guess... I don't know, I can't tell. They're not... Sometimes... Usually I would get a message in my email that would say, you know, oh wait, the upload was successful, so I sort of know that it's processing. I mean, it still takes time, but I'm not getting any of these notes, and it just seems to be that it's still processing and I'm just not getting a notice of anything. So I definitely don't want to die here. I guess I was saying before, I guess the one problem I have is when I sort of don't understand still the angle. Like when you pull out the sniper, it just automatically zooms. So usually I have to figure out where the person is after I snipe first, and it should be there. So if I duck down and keep my same position, when I stand up again, I should be on the right spot, but okay, I'm not safe, though. See, this is what happened. I know I died before. I'm surprised the guy became even aware of me so quick. I didn't know. Maybe it was the second guy who pointed me out. I want to go back because there's an axe. Isn't there an axe over here? Oh no. Alright, this isn't good. This is going to make it harder. It's not here. That's right, because he threw it at me. I can't even believe he missed me. That's just not common. They're usually dead aim. I can't believe he missed me with that axe. But I had an axe before I could pick up, and that would be very useful right now. Because, oh, there we go. Good. I guess, I don't know. Really, my idea here is because I know where the checkpoint is. I'm trying to do this in a tactful... Oh my god. No good. Oh no, I hope what happened... this is gonna be the same thing that happened last time. No, good. That's the guy with the gun. Okay. Now, last time I came out here, which is fine, because I can lure them out here and they'll run out and get decapitated, but it was the guy with the gun that came out here, and right after he shot me, he got decapitated. And why is there two of them? Where did the other guy come from? I guess there is a third person up there? Oh, man. I hit one guy with an axe. I don't know where this guy came from. Yeah, I kind of am doing the checkpoints in a tactful way, because, And it's for the bombs too. I want to hit the checkpoint, and then right after I hit it, go disarm a bomb. So at that point, it's of no consequence. I just really... Is this guy gonna come out here, or what? No, he's gonna stop. I'm surprised he doesn't see me right now. I'm not in good cover. He could have seen me right there. It seemed like when I was upstairs, they just both saw me. Or the guy saw me, like, from afar. Am I missing something here? Did I just... I feel like I attracted a bunch of enemies out of nowhere, because I don't recall seeing... Yeah, that's... One... So there's three, but there's something that doesn't make sense here. Where's... There is someone missing, the bigger guy. So there's four of them? Or did I feel like I'm attracting enemies from the other side that I didn't go to yet now? So there's somebody still up here. Yeah, the one guy's still up here. I mean, I'm fine after I hit this checkpoint. Now, what one could do is go over to the right and go take care of all the other enemies, and then take care of these, and then hit the checkpoint. And it always depends. People have different approaches about how they do it, I suppose. I guess I've done that myself before, where I've taken out everybody, then hit the checkpoint up here, but then again, there's not really much left in between at that point. See, he noticed me again. Really, I don't know. And then when I was down here, I was out in the circular blades, I felt like I was in full view, and nobody noticed me, and here's me trying to make sense out of this situation, and it's kind of a program, but I don't know. And this is the point where I don't care if he notices me. I kind of want him to, because he'll just come out here and get decapitated, but he doesn't even seem to... now I'm thinking he didn't even come down the ladder after me. No. You know, maybe I'll just use the bottle. What is going... Alright, that was me sprinting, which made the noise. You gonna chase me out here now? Come on. Here's what I'll do. I'll stand up for a second, which is always a risk when blades are out here. He doesn't seem to be seeing me, though. Turn around and walk slowly. Alright, I'm walking on glass. Maybe that doesn't help. Oh, he's kind of fat. God, he's moving pretty fast. What is going on? How did he just notice me? Now, again, you see what I did. I mean, you consider it's kind of risky running while the blade... I just was paying attention to where the blade was. I mean, if I didn't run away right there, he just would have killed me right there. I'm hoping that is the last person to deal with, or guy, or... I say people. I mean, I guess... I always mention that. I guess they're people in the sense that, everybody was hooked up to the machine, and maybe some of them... Maybe they're more or less under Rubik's control. I don't... Obviously, I don't have a full grasp always on the story. But looking at Joseph when he's degrading at some points and turning, it seems to be almost like, well, these people fully turned, or... Now, I'm hoping that I'm not going to think to myself, I'm not going to run through here and think there's nobody here, because I almost feel like I attracted other enemies from the other side. I don't know. It's just on this mode there's more enemies. And the guy with the gun could still be over here. And even if I run away and try to go into the blades, it's just problematic. Which earlier it was. Because he just shot me. And that's... I can hear enemies right now, but I'm also in a section probably above right now where I know a lot of enemies are. So I guess that's what I'm hearing. I mean, I shouldn't really... I don't know. This is what I mean about the checkpoint thing. Oh, I thought that was a shock bolt. No. See, this is what I mean about picking up bolts. It's important. It says I'm full. Which, yeah, my stock is full right now, but... Now, I put it at the max at level 3 so I can carry 5 bolts. If you only have 4, though, and it says full, all you gotta do is switch to it. So, one of them's equipped. Now, it'll say I can take it. Yeah, I was gonna hit this checkpoint over here and then disarm that bomb, so in case I died, it wouldn't be a big deal. I should probably take out the sniper guy though, too. I don't know. Is there bear traps on the ground here? I keep forgetting because the bear traps. Sometimes I'm not really paying attention to the ground as much as I should be. He's a little bit easier to get because he's more in view, but I say that and I usually have to duck down the first time because I can't figure out where they are when I use this. I did it again. I hear it, I look, I didn't find him. I can't really... Oh no. If I stay in this position, it should point right at him now. More or less. Now, I didn't hit him in the head, but at this point, my, the damage level on my rifle is at level 3, so... Which sort of mitigates any potential frustration, and maybe why even 5 and 6 are a bit more. I mean, if you are upgrading like I am, I've collected so much green gel and whatnot, the upgrades make situations a little easier. I mean, I just wasted 1 bullet there missing, but if I didn't hit him in the head, I probably would have had to hit him twice. I don't like it because I can hear other enemies, and it's pretty much probably because they're down there where I'm looking at. Which makes me think, I really hope they don't run up here. So I'm ignoring this bomb. I want the trap parts. But, I mean, for safety purposes, better off to just hit the checkpoint first. I mean, that way if it explodes in my face, I don't have to do everything I just did all over again. I'm just being cautious because, like, I hit a bear trap at one. Like I said before, I ran into a bear trap right at the point. I'm like trying to make a point of like, gotta look out for extra traps, and then I slammed into one before I could do it, or maybe I was midway to doing it. I don't know. So this is the checkpoint, or which really, see, now I don't have to deal with the sniper, and this is when I just go run around and figure, hey, you know, it doesn't matter if I die, whatever. But no, this is probably me. I don't know. I guess I am getting like much better at this bomb disarming. I don't know if I have the confidence really in the one section. When you go in, there's probably like 2 or 3 of them. To just do 2 or 3 of them, because especially if after I cleared the room. If it was beforehand, I might. I don't know. But for me, I mean, getting those 2, it might seem like not a big deal, but I guess to me that equals right now 1 shock bolt, and I kind of, looking at the trauma situation ahead, I mean, I usually use shock bolts. Especially in the second part, I don't want to take them down. That seems like they take a lot of damage. Oh, come on, nothing else. So not good. I forgot. Yeah, another guy comes out over here. Shit. I don't know. I don't know how far he'll chase me. See, there's a pro and con to everything. I mean, I don't want to. He'll see me through the door right now if I walk out. I mean, he has an axe. That's not good because he could throw it at me. But if I kill him, I can get his axe. And no, 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 not what I wanted. I really would have liked to have gotten him before he reached the ladder. Not good. Oh, come on, climb back up, come on. I'm gonna try to do this quicker. Although I could die in the process. I need to go after him right after he turns around. I mean, that's not... not good. Please, just... I wish I could just jump right there. Can you still hear me? I don't know. I always get these... I guess I'm saying certain key words and I get messages on my screen. Like, for the PS4. I guess because you do voice commands and whatnot. Good. Okay, so there's traps in the ground over here and things, and some guy should come out who's kind of smarter, and he's just gonna crouch. The axe won't help me here. And again, for a key point that I just learned before, of course he has to stand up to use every weapon, so being in the blades isn't good. Yeah, I figured. I mean, there's keywords. Yeah, I guess I say that and something happens. I actually don't have a camera, but I thought about it when I was at the store one time, but they didn't even have any. Um, this is one thing I just figured out before I had to for the circular blades, I guess. But and really I should have known it beforehand for playing through. But you know, because he has to stand up to use every weapon. I figured. You know, because as long as you're crouched and you go through a door or you jump over a windowsill, even though he stands up to do all of those things, he'll automatically crouch back down if you're sneaking. But if you draw a weapon, he doesn't automatically go back down, which in this situation could be problematic. If you're expecting him to go back down automatic. Yeah, I never read up on the particular words. I figured that would be one. But I get things come up, yeah, sometimes. It's not very often. They'll just come on the screen, like... Now, see, he ducked back automatically there, as long as I was crouched when I jumped over it, but, oh, there's, what, there's more than one of them that's kind of smart? Now, if I had expected myself right there to go back down automatically, because I had to actually manually hit the button to crouch back down after firing, which, for me, is kind of confusing, because again, if I jump over this wall right now and I'm crouched, I'll automatically crouch afterward. Which, if I didn't know that, I might hit the button to try to do it manually, and instead of crouching, I'll stand back up, and then I'll get hit by the blade, and just kind of... I don't know, there's stuff over here, but... There's probably, what, a syringe over here? That wouldn't be fun. Yeah. Again, why do they put these syringes in here? I can't use them for anything. Which, by the way, if you weren't here before, I was saying something... I was doing a speed run, and again, it's the factor of having to stand up to do everything, which is why I guess I like the grenades, which I was calling them mines before, but the grenade's the only weapon I know of that you can actually use while you're crouched down. It's kind of like throwing a bottle, which I just feel like I have to announce myself every time I fire a weapon, or draw a weapon, really. But I came out into these circular blades, and I was crouched down. I knew there was a syringe to pick up, and I had some health down, and my stock was full, I guess, so I just used the syringe while I was out here in the blades, and, you know, of course, he just stood up to use it, and that was it. I was decapitated. I don't know why he didn't notice me. I don't even want to pick up this green gel unless the blade's like past me. I'm like... See, this is annoying. This is what I mean, like, this bear trap. While he's disarming it, he's fine. He's still crouched. But every time, when he's done disarming it, he just stands up for some reason. I don't really fully get that, why he has to do that. I'm trying to time this. See, that... I don't understand that. Like, why did he have to stand up in order to do what? I just... It makes me feel like in that situation, there's not really much that I did wrong, except for the fact of knowing that he would stand up, but I don't know why he has to stand up after doing it. It's almost like I feel like he disarmed it, and then he wants to stand up because, I guess, he feels good about what he did? I don't know. It's kind of... Maybe that makes no sense, but... I tried to time it so that I timed it. That was the worst timing. I timed it exactly when the blade would hit my head. That's an example that's kind of just frustrating to me because I don't feel like that's something really that's my error so much as I didn't manually stand up or do anything, and I don't see any reason for him to stand up while he's disarming a bear trap. I mean. And it's just for like a fraction of a second he does it. He'll go back to crouching if you were already crouched, but it's just that moment, he just stands there for like a second or less. And even if it's a fraction of a second, it obviously makes a huge difference because I just got killed by it. Regardless of whatever mode I was playing, I would have been killed there. I mean, although, no, that's not, well... In any other mode, there wouldn't be, I guess, a bear trap there, unless in nightmare mode, maybe. This is the point when I think to myself and remember, after I disarmed that bomb and came down here, I got kind of freaked for a second because I forgot there was a guy that runs out down here. And now he's gone. Okay. Why not? Can we just try to do this right this time? Yeah. It is in some places, definitely. And really being... sometimes sometimes I wonder, like, because of the extra things added in this mode, whether certain situations were carefully, like, tested or thought about. Like, I always seem to mention the second part in Chapter 6 when their commandos are, there's a, a tripwire put up somewhere where it wasn't, and usually I've had it happen where when I start to get near that area, if I don't go disarm it, like I've had Joseph, he'll just run blindly through it and kill himself. And again, that's not really an error. I feel like it's on my part. I have a partner for a detective, and he just runs blindly through a tripwire and kills himself. But it almost feels at the same time like in normal mode, the tripwire wouldn't be there, and that's something he would do. And he just runs the same program you'd be running if you're playing on survival mode. So he just runs over there. But now they added a tripwire, so now he just kills himself. Or they could know about it and just maybe thought it was funny. I don't know, for me that's just frustrating, especially if I did a lot, because at that point, I mean, I usually point out my mistakes and I don't really care. I mean, I make a lot of mistakes, and there's places I'm not well hidden, and I know that enemies are going to be aware of me and what's going on, and I didn't do something and I had bad timing, but for the AI, for the NPC, for Joseph to just run through a tripwire and kill himself, that's death for me. And, disarming a bear trap and having to stand up for a second just seems... in any other situation, that wouldn't be a problem, really. Well, actually, it might be, because it seems to be standing up, I would give more attention to myself, but, Well, I don't have to go over here and check. There is a syringe like I thought there was, and it's probably not going to change. Wouldn't it be great if, like, you know, if you died a certain number of times and I jumped over and or something changed so dramatically, like they threw in an Easter egg, like instead of a syringe being there, there was a jar with like 50,000 green gel in it. I'm surprised. See, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if he noticed me. That, for me, that would kind of, I would feel like on my part, you know, I'm not really hidden. It just doesn't seem like he... I always forget, too, on this mode, because sometimes you see how many parts I have. I didn't even realize, like, Chapter 7 was kind of, I always say, a gold mine for me, like, especially after depleting myself in 5 and 6, and, I didn't realize, like, I was thinking to myself I would get a lot more out of 9 than 7, but 7 I walked in with, like, 11 trap parts and came out with 40. And for the most part of 9, like, I got through the mansion, and again, I played very slowly because I knew in that situation with the save room and with Rubik, I just made use of it, and I think I really, for enemy purposes, I think the only thing I blew was one match. Like, I ran into a room where they were feasting on 2 corpses and lit a match and, like, got rid of 2 of them. Otherwise, I snuck kill everybody else, and... But the thing about it is, with the extra traps, the one benefit is that the extra parts, like when I got to the part before you have to like fight Ruvik and you don't really fight him, it's when he turns into the red balls and then you go through the wires and have to like crouch to them, there's extra bear traps put up, and I think I disarmed 2 or 3 of them, and that's just automatically giving me all these extra trap parts. Otherwise, which I wouldn't have in any other mode, or maybe nightmare mode. Again, I have no experience with it, but am I gonna... If I die here again, this is gonna be really... Oh my god, you have to be kidding me. That was me just pressing the button to go disarm it, and I didn't think he was gonna lift his head, like, enough for the blade to hit him. I can't believe this. Well, again, this is, again, what happens, and this is just what I do, and I just keep doing it. I'm not gonna really change the pace of what I'm doing or say, you know what, I'm not going to take these parts now because I'm just too, you know, damn frustrated, but really, I feel like by doing that the problem with, like, getting in that mindset is that, you know, you do that, I guess, too often, and really, you can then, I find myself stuck with lore, I find myself stuck in the garage with the boss, and I felt like, which may be a good idea, another reason to keep just a save file before doing something. I guess if you get frustrated and just decide to run and not collect anything and not do anything, and then you find yourself kind of screwed, or maybe it's too problematic to get through a situation, you can always go back. I mean, I just don't like saving over the same save file, because if I can go back and do something more efficiently, I find it would be a good idea. I gotta say, I know I've died a number of times here, but as far as disarming the bombs so far, I haven't had one explode in my face yet. Well, that's good. The box gave me some parts this time. I really should utilize your video and train more with these bombs, because I would really like to go into, you know, this seating situation where all the enemies are in that room, and there's a few of them on the wall. I just kind of like want to run up to all three of them and do it. Which I would. I mean, I would do that if I could do it first, but I have to, with all the enemies in there, clear it out, and then after doing that, I might kind of be. I don't know. I don't know if I want to. If I were a pro, I'd kind of go about doing what I was saying, which I could try to do maybe once, but it depends on how long it takes me to dispose of the enemies. I'm probably going to just draw them all out of the room and stealth kill them. And I think 54 parts is pretty good, but which will be, oh my god, no, no, no. I guess I just have to expect the unexpected. Again, like I came down here, this was, what, the third time I've died now? And 2 times because of a bear trap that I disarmed. First time I came down here, he was there. Second time I came down here, he wasn't there. I don't know, maybe there's an order to this. Maybe he won't be there now. I don't know. Maybe I'll split this chapter up into like 10 parts. They'll still all be like 4 hours long. It's just me dying like from a bear trap in a circular blade for about 4 hours. And that could be really fun to watch. Yeah, I'm still pretty good with these bombs right now. I mean, I'm not... So, I'm taking a guess the guy's not going to be down there now. Now, I'm not... No, it sounds like he's there. I don't know what's going on. You know, there really has to be some kind of order. I mean, especially if it's a program. You think about it... I have very little experience with programming. Like, for a while, I went through a book and did some things, and I sort of got the gist of it. It made sense to me. But I didn't really have any goal in mind. I didn't know what I would do with it, and I'm not... I consider myself pretty visual, especially when I dream at night, but, I can't draw or paint, and... I didn't have any idea what I would do with it if I utilized it. I mean... And a lot of the things seem to boil down to a lot of if-then statements, which, you know, you could if you do permutations, you could do a lot of different situations and make a lot of different outcomes. So a lot of it seems very mathematical to me and very logical. So even if this guy was here, there's probably some kind of order if. And unless there was some random numbers generator being used or something like that. I don't know much about that, the randomness. I don't know. I can't think that he's not down here. That's just a bad way to go about it, but... But if he isn't, it seems that... Okay, he's not here, so... He was here, I died. He wasn't here, I died. He was here, I died. It seems kind of... Like, if I die again, he'll be here. That's kind of my prediction. Which it's always, I guess, safe to assume that somebody will be here. But, Come on, not again. I don't think I've died on that one. I just don't even like when the moment I press the button, he sort of moves up a little bit. Which actually, that makes more sense to me. But standing up afterward does not make any sense to me whatsoever. I'm glad that's working all the time, because I think I've had times where I've hit them with the stun and they're not fully standing up. They're kind of crouched and the blade somehow misses them. I don't know. Or at least one of them. It depends on how many come out. On the regular mode, only one of them would come out, or at least from what I remember. And okay, so hopefully, oh God. Now, wait a minute. I think I found a way out of this standing up thing here. Okay, so right after I disarmed the trap, I backed up. I pressed back to go back, and it looks like he was about to stand up, but when I moved backward, it was fine. So it's sort of like I stopped him from standing up. I guess if you just move, crouch, don't start to disarm it, like when the blade's like right near you. Right after you hear it click, back up. It should be fine. It's the type of advice I would have liked to have known beforehand and then dispensed out, but I learn as I just go along here, too. I mean, there are some things that I guess I can advise and some not, and some I'm just learning along the way, which is great. I believe it was you who, was it you who, like, I'm gonna take your, like, I'm gonna take your advice in Chapter 11 and do what you said. I believe it was you that, to get the sniper to come out quickly by hitting him with a flashbolt in Chapter 11 when the elevator comes down. I mean, I was willing to try something new because I don't have all the answers here. There's just certain situations that I feel like I can, you know, dispense kind of good advice on, and there's just some I just have absolutely just, I'm kind of like, you know, this is just what I'm doing, and this is probably isn't the best way, but yeah, I'm gonna definitely do, because for me, like, that section, like, I know how to get the sniper to come out by himself by, like, playing with the doors, because you have some level of control in that situation, at least. You can control kind of, like, I think the third time the door opens, if you just kind of, like, get the door to open and run away so it closes and shuts again, so nobody comes out, the sniper will appear by himself and nobody will come out the door. But still, at that point, it's annoying because it seems you have to do it a lot quicker with him, the sniping, and I've gotten shot at the same time as I fired at him. And if I can get that out of the way first, it takes away a lot of the frustration, because after dealing with a bunch of enemies and then knowing that I'm in a position where this is a little more, I have to be a lot quicker, and then I died a number of times. It's just kind of good to know I can get out of the way, so thank you. Oh, there's enemies. Now, I'm probably not gonna, oh no, 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 I don't know. No, no good. Okay, I got pretty lucky there. I had to just make a sprint for it, and I like to pay attention to where the blades are, but he was right on my back, and I just ran and ducked. I kind of like to get them to come out here, but not, and I know that, I mean, they're twice as fast. I just kind of, I don't know. I don't know, there's someone else laying here. That's, I don't know, is this person gonna get up? You know, when they put matches over there, which I imagine those are, it just kind of seems like it's a good idea, good to think that they're probably going to get up. Yeah. Well. Oh my God, he got up anyway. Oh. I don't know how many are. I'm probably not going to disarm that bomb, to be honest, after doing all this. Oh, damn. I'm sorry, I have to pause this for 1 second. I'll be right back. Actually, if you're still here, it would be good, because I kind of like, I don't know, I have to take the headset off for a second, just to kind of know if this is still working when I get back. Oh, wait. Okay. Sorry. I guess you can hear me. It should be okay. I usually don't like to do that, but that was kind of sort of had to. So I guess you can hear me. I guess it takes a while, the chat, to respond sometimes. I don't know. Maybe some people have said that. And yeah, for anybody playing on any mode, I mean, this is with those circular blades outside, this is probably the moment where you start to question why Sebastian has to stand up to do everything. Alright, cool. Thanks. I'm just thinking like this is the point probably where I would and probably have question why Sebastian stands up to do basically everything. And why it's good to have grenades, because grenades is the only weapon I know of that he can throw without standing up, or use, except for a bottle. Lighting a match, has to stand up. Use a syringe, has to stand up. Okay, there's more than one, because that other guy's gonna get up. Yeah, if I'm not gonna disarm the bomb, like I said, I could just try to blow it up on them, but because they're strong, it's probably not gonna. Oh man, why? Maybe I should just lure one of them out here first. I don't know what to do. Oh, this isn't safe. He has a gun. I can't stealth kill him right next to the bomb. Oh, man. But I could, maybe. You know what? I'm gonna have to... Let me check something. See, if he didn't have a gun, this wouldn't be so... They just have perfect aim in this. I'm gonna have to... Yeah, I managed to do that one. Maybe it was only even once. It seems like, I don't know, on this mode, I think when I did that, I seemed to have to do it quicker than I did on another mode, but I could just be wrong. Maybe I was just sleepy and just not well coordinated. The only thing that worries me, like, about that situation was that he was carrying a gun, and if I mess up... I mean, if they're gonna start, like, running after me, I can kind of run, but if he has a gun, I just don't have any chance of running away, it seems. Would that give you enough time to crouch up to him, though? I guess it depends on how far away you hit them, though. Because I've tried to... A couple times I've hit people with bottles and I've gotten up to them and it seemed the stealth kill like option went away fairly quickly, even when I was crouched. I wonder why when I'm standing here he can't see me. This just feels like it's kind of being done because... It's kind of weird, like he can't see me at all. I just hate that he has a gun, really. Just because of the perfect aim thing. I mean, if I mess up and I'm running away... Because even this happened earlier. I ran away from some guy successfully and got out here to the blades, but he had a gun, and he just came out and shot me right before he was decapitated.